Hi, welcome to another episode. I'm Wanjiku Murigi. We are still on the topic of healing the fatherless figure. Today I'm feeling a bit of a cold. And today we've gotten into a place where the topics, I accept anyone who's going to throw stones, it is okay, but we're educating each other. For me, I'm very passionate, and for me, true Kenyan, I'm very passionate about the father figure. Like, as much as mothers are important in nurturing children, so are fathers. And I keep saying, disclaimer, mentally stable fathers. And it doesn't have to be the biological father, but it can also be a mature, trustworthy, God-fearing man that steps into the place of a father. When we were young, let me give you a story a bit. When we were young, for people who didn't have their fathers, who didn't know their fathers, mothers had this habit of saying, I'll say it as it was being said, meaning your father was eaten by a crocodile. Or if it was not that, you would hear many children say that their father died because they got into an accident. But you know the thing about society and the thing about lying, which I am very much against, is that truth comes out. No matter how much you try and hide it or feel that you're protecting your child, the truth always comes out. Because you will find that maybe you and your close-knit family and friends have agreed, we're not telling this child because we are all on team A that is against that guy who fathered our child. But then you will find that shosho, that auntie, that cousin, that neighbor who has udaku from here to heaven. We're just going to spark a kalite. We're just going to throw a dash of chili into your child's life or into your child's mind. And then your child, because no one is born stupid or dumb. There's a way that God has given us a really amazing brain. And when this kadash is thrown, your child starts connecting. No, mom said this, and then there was this, and then those dates don't add up, so there must be something. All right. And something has just come to mind. I've remembered a young man a couple of years ago who was blaming the mom for not being honest about the dad, because he had ended up finding out that the dad was living somewhere and was living a good life, and he had other siblings, and the dad I think he was not aware that this child was there, but he really felt betrayed. The reason as to why I've even brought this topic today is because, yes, the truth does come out. And when your child asks again about their father, and you say, like the old mothers used to say, he was eaten by a crocodile, or he got into an accident, or he was in the army and went and got shot, or he's no longer in existence, or the only father you should think of is your heavenly father. This child is going to add up, and then what they will do is go and find out. They will go and look. They will go and ask. And then, watafunga virago, they will put together their luggage, like clothes and stuff, and then start the journey of looking for their father who gives them an identity. Imagine your child who has trusted you as a mother, or even as grandparents. This child has trusted you from the beginning, because who else do they go to? Like, you're the people who've raised the children, and then you tell them this lie. And then someone from out there, whom, as we are saying, is udaku or is malicious, decides to throw in the spark, and then the child starts asking, and they realize that I can trust this person. Two things. You have broken a major, a big, unimaginable trust in that child, even if your intention was to protect. You've made that child feel that they cannot trust the world or the foundation that they were raised on. Yes, that's the correct way. Raised on. They can't trust anything that comes out of your mouth. They can't trust even what you've told them about themselves. And guess whom they're going to trust? This is now number 2. The person that we're saying is malicious becomes more trustworthy than you who has good intention, you who was trying to protect the child, you who has done everything to raise up this child. Yet, the person who gets the pat on the back, imagine, is the person that you don't like, or the person who has just decided, let me spoil things, and your child feels that is the place to be safe. The thing is, something within us, something in all of us, if we don't deny it, we always look for an identity somewhere. And the identity begins with, first, your parents, both mother and father. And then out of these parents, and this is where we do genealogy, for those who know it, this is why we are coming up with family trees. This is why we go looking for our relatives, because of that identity. And if I, as a child, cannot trust you to give it to me the way it is, what have you spoiled, damaged in me? And in searching for this identity that we all have, how many heartbreaks, wounds, heart-shattering will you have put this child in, whether adult or young or teenage or grandmother or grandfather? There's a certain kind of doubt, there's a certain kind of void you'll have put in your child that they end up going out there and trusting the wrong person. And this is about, be truthful. It's important for your child to know their identity. And as I've said it in every episode of this series, no matter how bad the person was, the child first deserves to know and will forever want to know. And I'm not saying bad-mouthing the person. You can break bad news in a good way. Even telling the child, your father is this guy whom I met, but he doesn't even know that you exist. Then your conversation will start from there. And this child knows, even if my mother, my relatives, grandparents don't want me to associate with that person, there is a reason, and I can trust the reason. And when I'm older, which is 18 plus, I can go looking. Imagine even now this guy having a child whom he never knew about, coming one day knocking at your door and then saying, I am your child. Like even this guy, and imagine if he even has another family, the effects are a bit too much. We owe our children truth. We owe our children identity. It is important for them to know the other side of who they are. And even if that your child knows and the other person doesn't want to associate, it is okay. But please remember, it's identity that the child goes looking out for. And you, as the parent who is present, you who has custody, deserve to give your child that identity. Don't lie to them, because they're going to go looking. And sometimes where we go looking is not the very best of places, because I'll go looking for that figure somewhere. I'll go try and fill in that void. And even if it is a joke that we always used to use in my family is John Wamakara, John the charcoal seller. Even if it is that person, the child deserves to know that that is the father. And I said, and I'll repeat, it is not finances, it is not financial stability that makes a human being or a man a father. The same thing even with mothers, but for mothers it's very rare that a child will not know their mother. But for mothers, aunties, grandparents, do not hide your child's identity, even if you feel that you are protecting or making the best choice for them. according to Wanjiko, the psychologist, this is my opinion, they deserve to know. It is very important. For me, I'll tell them, and then they deal with. It is only right, it saves you from a lot, and it saves that child from a lot of such and feeling like they don't belong. That's it for today. Ciao and thank you. Please share. And yes, you'll find me a psychologist on call. And yeah, I hope I introduced myself right. Thank you and bye. Have an awesome week. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.